If you use your thumbs, it's nice to smooth out, and after the release you do some let go. There's some let go work there, hands on the chakras. Getting back to that deep state of relaxation. I may have disturbed the relaxation a little bit. Now I'm going to do mother hand, child hand, palming down the arms, as we did on the back. The mother hand is sitting in the area called the throat chakra. Of course, the throat chakra is a bit higher up. We can't put a hand on the throat, it would be too restrictive. So we use a hand on the upper chest. It corresponds to the lymphatic drainage area, which is very convenient for us. Palming down the other arm now, making sure I don't put pressure against the elbow joint. I'm working with the elbow joint at all times. Onto the palm, opening up the fingers, back up. A bit of rolling work there, and the shoulder. There are four main areas of relaxation besides the spine. We call five main areas of relaxation: the two hips, two shoulders, and the jaw. These are what I call the 5 points of relaxation, which we will cover in just a minute. But this is initially getting those hips and those shoulders to relax. And when you're in a relaxed state, you can feel them as if they're being pulled towards the floor, because gravity will pull the shoulders towards the floor. Here we have the wrist, loosening up the wrist, jiggling the wrist if you like. Preparatory to work on the arms. There's the shoulder, I'm checking, see if it's loose. Wrist, shoulder, yes, it's quite relaxed. And let's just check the elbow. Holding in a bit, that's gone, that's good. Not holding in anymore, is it? A bit. There, that's good now. Now she's let go. Some people may take a long time. I've known people to take a year to be able to do this, 2 years. So, yes, a lot of hard work in that respect. Just getting people to let go of the tension mentally. Putting each finger in turn now, pulling and massaging the wrist and the hand. Now these techniques are all covered in the classroom, and this video is a guide. It will be very difficult to learn shiatsu from this video, and very dangerous. Please do not think you can learn shiatsu from this video. It is meant as a guide for students involved in shiatsu. Be warned. Shiatsu is very safe if you learn it from a qualified teacher who knows the ins and outs. It's a very dangerous thing to do, just to pick up a video and think you can do shiatsu. Shiatsu is based on common sense. You must seek proper training. Let's look at the little finger now, the other hand, or the left hand, and then the ring finger. Notice I don't ask people to take the watches, rings or earrings off. It's part and parcel of their armour, their physical armour. We are releasing psychological armour, but we must work around these things. Always take note of what they are wearing as regards jewellery, accessories, and work around it. This is a nice technique, opening up the hand, working the wrist. There. The fingers again, sometimes they click with minimal amount of pulling, loosening that wrist up. There's the shoulder, wrist, look at the elbow. Yes, the elbow's quite relaxed, it's much better than the other one. Laying it out properly. Going down to the feet now, making contact at the feet. Putting the toes, big toe. At this stage, sometimes I like to say this little piggy went to market, this little piggy stayed at home. A bit of humour in shiatsu is always good. This little piggy had roast beef, and the next one had none. Oh, that hurts a little bit, so she's banging her hands, so I'll ease off there. A bit too much. There. This little piggy had none, didn't he? And the nice little piggy went wee 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 all the way home. Didn't get any either. There we go. Watching the face. Now what I'm doing here, I'm going from the toes up to the head. I'm showing the diversity of shiatsu. Having worked the feet, brought a lot of heat down into the feet now. Relax the recipient, I'm going to go to the neck. We often work on opposites. just gently rolling the neck, getting more to let go in the neck, as we've done in the shoulders and elbows, the toes and all the other joints. Now those joints in the neck need to be looked at. I'm just supporting the head with the palms, encouraging Moya to relax those neck muscles, release the tension in the neck. She's breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth still. Jaw is open when she breathes out. Gently putting the fingertips there, touching the neck with the fingertips as very gentle. It's very gentle work here, especially in the initial phases. I don't recommend sudden neck twists. I don't recommend sudden jerks to the spine either. It must be done gently. These actually create more tension if you work suddenly. So we are encouraging the recipient to let go of the tension, encouraging those muscles to elongate. This can only be done with very gentle, caring work. Once that stage is reached, then we can do harder work. But let's just keep the gentle techniques right now. Feeling the knots in the neck, restrictions caused by tension in the muscles. A lot of heat will be felt in the fingertips and the neck, perhaps in the forehead. Now I'm going to do some work on the forehead with my thumbs. Notice I'm not blocking the ears. Applying pressure with my thumbs. Across the head. Watching the breathing. You may find some dimply bits on the head. You can work those. Those are the tsubo, the points. In the area of the head. Always watch out for a fontanelle in a young child, of course, and the neck techniques. The neck is not properly developed on a young child, so extra care must be taken. Never apply pressure to a young child's head. Showing how to use the hands on the neck, the fingers, and then the thumbs. And here's a good position to start working the face with. I'm not blocking the ears. My fingertips are coming over the cheekbones to the jaw. My thumbs are coming to between the eyebrows. That will help to release tension in the face muscles. Help the person take off some of those masks. Yeah, very subtle work on the face. In these initial phases, the recipient is just actually learning how to accept shiatsu, and it may take several weeks before the recipient can fully accept a good shiatsu treatment. It may take several years for some people who have had a very stressful life and have not done any form of exercise. The more exercise, shiatsu-related exercises, yoga, martial arts, the recipient has done, generally speaking, the easier they can accept shiatsu, and the easier it is for them to actually learn shiatsu. So the training is not necessarily just working on the recipient. The training is outside of the classroom too. Yoga, martial arts, that's gentle martial arts, tennis, horse riding, opera singing, all these things interconnect with what we're doing. Strange as it may hear, strange as it may seem. Now I'm doing some letting go, back to the chakras. My right hand is on the hara, my left was on the head then. Now I'm coming to my left hand is on the throat chakra, just off it, upper chest. Calming the recipient down, helping Moya to let go. Moving in closely, bringing center back down to the hara. Just checking the shoulders again. Placing my hands, and feeling the fire come up under my fingertips as Moya breathes. As you can imagine, fire being warm in that abdominal area. This is putting the recipient into the side position, making contact to start off with. As I've explained before, the recipient would not normally put themselves into the side position. The giver of the treatment, the therapist, would do that for them. Relaxing now, having worked the chakras, put the recipient at ease. Each position, for an hour's treatment, we can think of 15 minutes for each treatment, 15 to 20 minutes. Anything longer than that is usually too uncomfortable to be in one position. Now I'm taking hold of the heels. I'm going to do a little bit of stretching for the spine, Pulling back now, my arms are fairly straight, helping the spine to elongate. Again, working with the breath as we do at all times. Breathing out now. Breathe in and out. Nice stretch on the spine there, watching the face. Lovely, good. Next one, I place the heels onto my thighs and just, if you look at the tummy, you can see it wobble. I call this one the tummy wobble. You can see why. You can see those internal organs wobbling, massaging, being massaged. Help it to increase the blood flow in those internal organs, release the tension there. Very delicate work. And the shock from that goes right up to the top of the head if it's done properly. A bit harder now, more is relaxed. Now you can really see that tummy wobble taking place. Very good. I'm using my abdominal muscles to transmit that energy through. This is what I call the whiplash. You actually, if you can see the head wobbling there, if it's done correctly, the head will wobble, so you're creating a lovely vibration up through the body, and the neck is being affected positively from that. And the last one I call the Bluebell Railway. It's rather like a steam train. Our local steam enthusiasts run the Bluebell Railway in the heart of Sussex. Now, I'm just preparing the hip for the 4 leg positions. The first one, you'll see me doing in a minute. I'm just preparing the hip there, preparing the hip joint, loosening that up. Now, notice the hold, notice the hand positions. I'm under the knee, over the ankle, under the knee, over the ankle at all times, unless at some time in an advanced stage you discover a variation, of course. Initially, under the knee, over the ankle, and a little bit of rotation. This is the initial loosening up, rotation, helping more to let go. That's it. Just as we did with the shoulders and elbows, now we're doing with the legs. That's the hip and the knee. That's right, lovely. Now she's relaxed. She's letting go. That's it. Relax, release, and let go. The relaxed stage, you release, and now we're letting go. Lovely, lovely bit of work. That's right. Inside leg quite relaxed. Now let's do the first of the leg positions. Before we go into the side position, I'm going to stretch out the inside leg. But I don't want to force the issue, so I'm supporting the knee on my thigh. Unless the recipient is of such a constitution that the knee can go right down to the floor, which very few people can do in this country. There. A cross stretch now. My left hand is on that hip bone. My right is doing more of the work. It's rather a cross between a cross stretch and mother hand, child hand, actually, that one. Here we have mother hand, child hand working. I'm using the thumb on the inside leg there. I don't encourage the use of the thumb on the inside leg, inside thigh to start, until you've got used to the pressure. This is the next leg position. I put the foot in the right position and the knee just flops down for me. Now all these positions coordinate with our warming up exercises, the stretches, what I call the MEX or MEX exercises, which help to loosen up the spine and the joints. You can see these on a separate tape. These correspond to that, and this one we call the Isle of Man stretch. And we do it ourselves. We're stretching the outside of that thigh. Notice the hand positions, just palm, but now I'm going to use the thumb. We'll cover some more advanced techniques in the next tape. These are very basic techniques. Just applying a little bit of pressure to helping that muscle release. Not too much. Now when I take the leg out of the position, I take it up and round, as you can see, in a circular manner. Check that it's loose again, do that rotation, there we are. Yes, it's even looser than it was before, it should be too. Now the next one, pushing into the chest. Notice the foot, position of the foot in there. You can adjust. If it gets in your way, then you can turn the toes out a little bit. Now, if the foot's in the right position, I can just stand there like that without my hands. I'm actually supporting Moya's leg with my knee. So my hands are free to, rather than support, to do actual work. So I can work on the opposite leg as I apply stretch there. There, lovely. And with the breath, of course, on the hip, then go down the leg. I can actually go right down if my arms are long enough. As I apply the stretch, I apply the pressure. So here we are. Here's a good example of applying pressure and stretch with movement. Pressure, stretch, and movement. 3 combined. Very, very effective. Pressure, stretch, and movement. Lovely. Good. Now I will go into the side position. This is the 4th of the leg positions, and it actually takes us into the side position. Instep to the knee, coming closer. Now I'm writing close, notice that. I'm going to take the knee over. I need to change the hands. My hands change, voila, at the knee. The free hand, in this case it's the left hand, comes under the back to support the back. Someone with a stiff back, you'd be very careful in doing this. Work with the breath now.